Searching for our next property does not stop. We're on our way to go check out another property. It's a duplex. We found it through a wholesaler. That's where we're at.
Whoa. These are wood. These are all. This one's all.
Those three are
Where's
wood.
that massive window for? 2 vinyls, 1 wood. That's a huge window. Here's a new back door.
Yeah, the back door is a little, just a little messed up. I mean, we could keep the cabinets and paint them.
Mm-hmm. There's a new flooring in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no dishwasher, which I don't think is standard here, but I mean, you could fit one. Just take some cabinet space away. Okay, so this is LVT. Like, this bathroom's not horrible.
No, it's not bad.
Like, we
It's not
really,
terrible.
I would just do like new finishes, like new light fixture, new trim kit.
Breach.
Okay. So new floors, paint, new ceiling tiles. There's a little bit of a water issue over there. Yeah, same thing, flooring, ceiling tiles, paint. And then there's a 3rd floor, so it can technically be a 4-bedroom. Well, let's go
Let's
see.
check it out.
Do you have your flashlight?
Do I? Is it scary up there?
I mean, it is scary. How do you put this on?
Just like that, and then click the buttons.
Oh, I'm ready.
You're blinding the people.
Oh.
You look like a space movie.
Ooh. It's gross up here. I mean, obviously all new sheetrock, but helps the ARV. Final window.
It's not bad.
It's weird that there's no window in the back.
It's weird that it's not that cold in here.
Yeah. I dare you to look in there.
Of course I will. I dare you to look at that dead mouse right there. The 2 dead mice right there.
I did not even notice that. So where was that water leak over there?
Yeah, it was probably coming down right here. Doesn't look like there's much damage to these rafters, even though. Ooh, that one's not that good. Oh, that one's still pretty good. It's not too bad. When I want to test for if there's possibility of some knob and tube, I have to come up to either the 2nd or the 3rd floor, because usually they're going to replace what's easy, which is most of the time just that 1st floor because they can get to it from the basement, but they won't run to the 2nd floor. So if I'm going to throw a tester, what we're looking for is 2 lights on the middle and the right side, which means that it's wired correctly, which means it is grounded. Knob and tube is not grounded, so you won't get those 2 lights. So it is correct. So we're looking good.
Now, do you do that on like multiple outlets? You know?
Yeah, so I would assume that this room is wired within the same circuit. So it would probably either be there or here would be the end for this room. And they're both good, so. And don't get fooled that you see that there's a ground in the receptacle, because they could have just thrown that on without actually having a ground.
So what are you looking for down here?
Water. We're looking for water because it's been snowing and raining, and I do see some here and over in this corner, probably coming through this door. We have an oil tank here, which is another thing we're looking for. It's obviously old, and it's above ground, and it's just in the basement. So we just have to have somebody come pull it out if we can't get it out. Looks like they put a new water heater. It is power vented already, which power vent essentially just means they're not running. You can see they cemented in this hole where they vented to the chimney. This is an actual motorized fan that will blow out all the fumes from the water heater. So this chimney is not, doesn't look like it's active anymore. Yeah, no, it's not active anymore. The heater is actually power vented as well. So that's really nice. Those are 2 upgrades that we like to do. If we can kill a chimney, we would like to. This is just a really low spot right here, I think. Comes around. Oh, that's where it's coming from. Right here. This thing is running. All right, you guys are welcome. I did something super complicated. I turned off the valve. Okay, so maybe the Bilcos aren't bad.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
But maybe other people won't know that.
True. They'll just see water.
And they'll be like, it can't be coming from the hose that's turned off.
It's not dripping. Oh, you're great. I also like to see the windows and what sort of shape they're in down here. They look like they're pretty decent, except for this one that's hidden. So we can clear a cobweb. Seems like it's just plexiglass. Like it was already broken at some point.
Yeah.
So it's not leaking, so who cares?
Where's the electric panel? Let's check that out.
Right here. Enough room to add air if we wanted to. Another thing that's nice that I'm just noticing is that they have hardwired smoke detectors throughout the entire house. So that's really nice. And another thing that we honestly don't see a lot is they have these keyless like lights, which are just these little lights for basement lighting. We usually never see basements with actual like sufficient lighting. And actually these look like they already have enough to light this basement all up. And these basement stairs are in good shape. A lot of times we'll see like the bottom of the basement stairs will be rotted out from water sitting or getting into the basement, and the bottom will be rotted out, and they'll be sitting crooked because that bottom riser or the bottom of that string is rotted and it's broken down. These are all really good. I haven't felt anything soft in this house yet.
Yeah.
Flooring, stairs, anything. All right, I'm pretty happy with this place.
Let's look on the outside.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot actually. The roof is definitely like within 5 to 10 years old. This front porch roof is like a tin roof. I don't know a bunch about tin roofs, but the softening all looks good. Doesn't look like any water's coming through. All the flashing up there looks decent.
So obviously this is an issue.
Where it's rough. Yeah, that's definitely an issue. So that's just front porch, it's not house.
Yeah.
I know this looks really terrible, but all they did was chip and paint this front. That's why it looks nicer.
Yeah.
This is the same.
So you could do that.
Yeah, it's that cedar bevel siding.
Just some exterior work.
Because it's not painted. Like this was probably the same thing. It's probably just left exposed and rotted out. That's why I really like aluminum wrapping these.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about upkeep later on. You get it wrapped one time.
So that's the door to the basement.
Yeah. That plate looks good. That's holding the deck onto the house.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good. These will become an issue later because these 4x4s are in the ground and they're gonna rot. Like now the code is like the 4x4 can't be sunk into the ground. It's got to be on a concrete like pile, like footing. So they dig down, pour the concrete, and then a 4x4 actually sits above ground. These are down into the ground, so they rot at the ground level because that's just what happens over the years. And we're gonna have to replace them later. And
I guess in theory we could either do parking back here or we could do a garage facing that way and rent it out if the person living here doesn't want it.
I love that you just said that. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I like it a lot.
All right, done with the tour.
Surprising, actually.
Yeah, surprising in lots of ways. It's bigger than we thought. We originally thought it was a 3-bedroom. Some parts were in worse condition, some parts in better though, so we're gonna go back and rerun our numbers and put in an offer, and I'm so excited! Ooh. Okay, guys.
Oh, yes.
This property is, I don't know, I really like it. I think it's super cute. It's not like a full gut, which is refreshing.
It's refreshing to walk through a potential like BRRRR duplex. I mean, most of our BRRRRs are single family.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because it would be so many firsts. It would be the first time BRRRRing a duplex,
yep.
The first time inheriting a tenant. The tenant's actually on Section 8, so it'd be the first time doing that. Section 8
tenant. Hard money.
It would be the first time buying from a wholesaler, first time using a hard money lender, first time buying in our LLC. Now you guys kind of know where our thought process was when we opened the LLC. So it would So that gets me excited, actually. I mean, it makes me a little anxious because like there's so many firsts, but it's exciting because then we've done it.
Yeah, and it's in it. The area is very much like a market that we already invest in, and some of the stuff is like they've got weird like textured plaster walls that has like really bad patch jobs over the years. So it's like, we got to start getting creative on where our budget is best spent.
And I think this would be a really good challenge for us because we typically just like gut everything.
Yeah.
Where this property, one, doesn't give us the budget to do that, and two, like exactly what you said, like we really have to like work the appraisal report.
Yep.
So we kind of calculated our renovation cost, and to do what we want to do, which is like demo the ceilings, like get rid of the drop ceilings, keep the cabinets but paint them and reposition them.
Both decks. Okay,
add a dishwasher.
We know that both decks, it's got a front porch and a back deck, both in structurally good shape.
Yeah.
We know that adds value for the appraisal report.
Fenced in yard.
Fenced in yard, so that's another thing we were able to kind of like figure out a way that we can actually, the back fence, bring it towards the house so we can offer off-street parking.
Yeah,
which
add a driveway basically.
Now. So
we're really like hitting a lot of like the appraisal items.
Yeah.
And then like there's some things we're not going to do. Like we're not going to add central AC because we looked at the market and a lot of homes in the area don't have central AC.
Yeah. Along the lines of the AC, the ceiling to the basement is like not that tall. It's not super low, but it's not that tall either. And the heater's in good shape, and the heater is just a tall unit. So there's not enough room to throw an AC to add cooling to it. So I think we're just gonna wait until that heater expires, and then once we replace that, replace the whole thing with a heating and cooling.
So basically we ran our renovation numbers, and we think we're at a budget of about $50,000. And we always get asked, you know, how do you estimate a rehab for a property? And unfortunately, I think the best way to do it is to already have an itemized quote from a contractor. And the best way to do that is to have a contractor walk a property for you and pay for an itemized quote. This way you know exactly how much they're charging to install, price per square foot, you know, flooring. And then once you have that, you can really like estimate. So since we use a contractor here, we're going to use the same one.
And it's so funny watching me and Lauren do it. It's totally different. Like I'll walk through and get done, and I'll sit there in my head and I'll just like calculate that. Lauren's like, well, let's go back. Let's look at the
I'm like 1,300 square feet times $2 times.
Yeah. And it's and funny somehow to see how it differs. And I would say it's probably usually within like $5,000.
It's very close.
How close we are.
Yeah. So renovation of 50,000. ARV we think is like, depending some of the finishes, 175, 200,000. So we're gonna offer $100,000 with hard money.
With hard money, yeah.
And we'll see. Now, yes, if you do the calculations, it's not gonna be a perfect BRRRR. And as you guys have noticed this past year, coming along with us as we've been touring properties, we've been after the perfect BRRRR. And I don't want to say that it's not possible right now, but you know, maybe we need to lower our expectations a little bit. So even though we are going to be leaving money in this deal, it's still going to cash flow really well. Like I think our rough analysis is we're going, so it's on a duplex after fixed expenses, after setting aside for reserves, vacancy, maintenance, CapEx, and property management. Even though we self-manage, we're still going to cash flow like $550, $600 total. So $250 to $300 a unit.
Yeah.
And like a 25 to 30% cash on cash return.
Yeah.
So while we don't want to leave money in the deal, I'm okay with leaving the money in the deal with those type of numbers.
For sure.
And of course, as we get closer and things are more finalized, we could share the numbers in more detail.
Yeah. So we got our offer. We're going to be throwing out $100,000. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get outbid by like 20, 30,000. So
I mean, that's a little crazy.
Everyone keep your fingers crossed.
We'll see.
Lauren's going to go type that up now and get it out.
So we haven't heard from the wholesaler in a little while. I kept kind of following up, and they didn't really have an update for me. So to be completely honest, we've kind of just assumed we haven't gotten it. But we did just get a call from them. So I'm just gonna call Kyle and share the news.
What's up, baby?
Hi, baby. So I just heard back from the wholesaler about our offer.
Okay, what'd they say?
No.